The world is remembering Henry Kissinger, the powerful former Secretary of State who had his hands in America's foreign policy for more than half a century. As Andrea Mitchell reports, Kissinger was both respected and divisive.
He was consequential and controversial, the only person to serve as both Secretary of State and National Security Advisor at the same time.
I think we made further progress.
Tonight, tributes from Washington to Israel, Moscow to Beijing. President Biden saying they often disagreed and often strongly, but his fierce intellect and profound strategic focus was evident. And this from the current Secretary of State.
I was very privileged to get his counsel many times, including as recently as about a month ago.
The praise not only from America and her allies, Vladimir Putin calling Kissinger a wise and far-sighted statesman in a message to Kissinger's wife, Nancy. A message of condolence from Xi Jinping, calling Kissinger's normalization of relations with China a brilliant strategic vision benefiting both countries as well as changing the world. Revered in Beijing for that 1972 breakthrough, meeting Chairman Mao, learning how to use chopsticks from Zhou Enlai, easing tensions with the Soviet Union. But it was a legacy stained by Vietnam. His critics called him a war criminal for expanding the war to Cambodia and Laos, declaring success just before the 1972 election, years before it was over.
We believe that peace is at hand.
2 members of the Nobel Committee resigned when he received the Nobel Peace Prize 2 years later. Jewish and born in Germany, the young Kissinger came to America with his family as a teenager, fleeing the Nazis, to return with the U.S. Army in World War II. Later in the White House, his influence and charm making him an unlikely celebrity, nicknamed Super K on a Newsweek cover. After leaving office, he became even more influential.
How would you rate the crisis management by this administration?
Oh, I would say that after the first few days of confusion, the administration has handled it properly and calmly.
Counseling presidents from both parties and visiting foreign leaders, even traveling to China at the age of 100 for a red carpet meeting with President Xi, setting the stage for President Biden's recent summit. He never stopped looking for the next challenge, recently writing about artificial intelligence, which he feared could be an even greater threat than nuclear weapons.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.